It's popping YouTube. This is Skiddo313, the Pokemon Showdown GOAT in training. So here I got a Gen 8 National Dex game, and Gen 8 National Dex I think it's a fun metagame. It's weird that it has Z moves. I don't think that quite makes sense, but I love Z moves, so I'm okay with it. I wanted to make a team around probably my favorite Pokemon design-wise, which is Electivire. We all know that Electivire is awesome. It's a little slow and it doesn't have great defenses, but it is very strong. They can 2-hit KO almost anything. So I thought I'd give it a shot. So it's a 4 attacks expert belt set. It is Wild Charge, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Earthquake. Has pretty good coverage. Next, I got a Z Thunderbolt, Tapu Koko with Defog. I got a standard spec Greninja, standard offensive Scarfed Lando, and then I got a specially defensive Teleport Wish Clefable and then the last Pokemon is a Mega Scizor with Curse, Bullet Punch, Roost, and U-Turn. So the idea for my team is to try to U-turn around and get the Electivire or Greninja in to get a big hit. And then I also have the Clefable to teleport to get those two in as well. So let's get right into the match. So my opponent leads with Darmanitan, so I switch into Scizor. I thought he'd either go for Icicle Crash or U-turn. My Scizor has a good amount of physical defense investment, so it's a pretty good switch into any non-Flare Blitz Darmanitan. So I bring out my Greninja because I have no fire resist, and I make a pretty big misplay here by going for spikes. I did not expect toxic spikes from Toxapex. I probably should have, but I realized I got to get rid of these things fast because I don't want all of my team getting poisoned. So I go into my Tapu Koko and I go for the Defog. Basically, I wasted 2 turns setting up those spikes, but I just didn't know that he had toxic spikes. So I Defog and then I U-turn out into Mega Scizor. Good thing about these Curse Mega Scizor is it is a perfect counter to any Bulu set. And you can kind of show them and get free U-turns like that one. So I bring out the Koko and I U-turn again. So I'm just getting lots of good momentum so I can get into a good place offensively. So I bring out the Scizor. Now, he's not going to bring in the Mega Houndoom again. So he brings in the Corviknight, which is a good play. But here I finally get to bring in my Electivire safely, and I actually predicted the Garchomp went for the Ice Punch, but it got 60% on Bulu, so that worked out really well. And then I went for the Fire Punch just in case. Honestly, I don't know why I did that. Anyway, I decided to put in Clefable on the U-turn. And so this is my special wall, so I leave it in versus the Houndoom, but it does not take that hit very well. Wish Teleport Clefable is not as good in National Dex as it is Gen 8 OU, but that's all right. So here I bring in the Koko versus the Corviknight to try to set up that electric terrain for my Evire. So I'm going to U-turn again. Lots of U-turning in this game. And I bring in Clefable to scout what kind of Garchomp it is. I was a little afraid that it was going to be a Fire Blast Garchomp or a Fire Fang Garchomp. So that's why I decided to sack the Clefable just to scout. And nowadays they're all running Sword Stance, Earthquake, Continental Crush, and Stealth Rock pretty much. You don't see a lot of fire moves. I just wanted to scout. So I'm able to U-turn into my Electivire, and I went for the Earthquake as a mid-ground, knowing that it would chip the Garchomp, but also hit the Toxapex pretty hard. So here I make a dumb play and overpredict the Ice Punch. The Garchomp I go for Ice Punch, but that is all right because I get a big Wild Charge off of the Corviknight, which the Corviknight is a big problem because it walls both Lando and Scizor. So Electivire did amazing this game, getting basically 2 kills as I'm able to knock out the Corviknight here. So yeah, Electivire again, it's good if you can get it in safely because it can, with good prediction, it can 2-hit KO pretty much everything. So there, that was a bad play. I basically sacked the Greninja. I should not have done that. I should have switched out to something else. But here I decided to chip the Garchomp with HP Ice so that it is in range of an Earthquake for my Landorus. So here is where I've noticed that he hasn't gone for Flare Blitz yet. So I bring in my Scizor, knowing he's not going to do that. I'm able to U-turn out. And basically just every single time I bring in my Landorus, I know I'm going to get a kill. So I bring in the Landorus. He sacks Houndoom. He's going to bring in Darmanitan. And here is where I really had to make a pretty good 50-50 call. I'm like, I don't think he's going to risk doing another Icicle Crash into my Scizor because he kind of had gotten burned on that before by me being able to pivot out back with the U-turn. So I'm like, he's going to go for Flare Blitz. I know it. And let's see what he does. He goes for Flare Blitz, and I'm able to knock him out with the Earthquake. So that was kind of a 50-50, but knowing from what he's done,